Yes, we ready to start. Good night, everybody. We are live on YouTube, so let's say good night to those people there as well.
Good night, YouTube.
Good night, YouTube.
Yeah, gonna.
Yes, we ready to start. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm trying to remember what I did the last time to get this thing to play. Oh, I know what I need to do. One minute, guys. About to start. So we have a lot to do tonight. First, we will start looking at paper 2. Then we will go to paper 1, and we will move on from there. I'm free to go as late as we can go. So once you're up for it, we can go. But I think you guys should also have a good night's rest. So yeah, please don't share the link. Please don't share the link with your colleagues. I want to keep the class on Zoom as small as possible to prevent background noise and all of that. Everybody else is free to look at us from YouTube. Oh, and I've just touched 13,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Thanks. But I hope y'all don't unsubscribe when you're done with the exam. The Lord is watching you, huh? All right, so 2 persons started by on or disliking this video. What was it to dislike? We haven't even started. There's some natural red women around, like I don't understand. Anyway, we haven't even started, but they already disliked the video. Good, so we're going now. We're gonna start looking at, sorry. We are gonna start looking at the summary. We are recapping that. So summary writing. This will be the first thing on your exam paper tomorrow. If I can pull up a previous paper, just so you guys can have a walkthrough of what the exam looks like, I think that will be more useful to you all. So let's quickly shift focus to that. Just a quick run through of a previous exam paper, just so you guys can be adequately prepared. Confirm you can see?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good. So this is where your exam paper will be given. This is the exam paper that will be given to you tomorrow. Well, one like this. And please make a note that you're seeing January 2021. Please don't say I had May, June 2021. Thank you, please. Good. So you'll put your information there, the first page, and then we will move on from there. So the first thing you will see is your summary. This is your question here. First thing is the summary. If you notice, you will have some instructions there, like for everything on the exam, instructions will be there. So you're to read those instructions carefully, and that will guide you as to what you're going to do on the actual exam. Now, when it comes to the instructions for the summary, it is to be done in 120 words, should be done in 1 paragraph, and you enlist your 5 main points prior to starting that summary, before you actually start that summary. You jot the 5 points down, and then you use those 5 points that you put down to actually do the writing of the summary later on. Are you there with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So after that, you're going to, you have a box here. So your exam will look like you have a box here that says you may make notes here. I'm going to recommend that you put any detail in this box that you want to plan, right? So you're gonna plan it out before you actually start writing on the line spaces, right? So let's say you're gonna write your main points. Write those points in this box. Then you go on to put them on the line spaces. Because in doing this, I don't want you to scratch too much on these lines, right? You're putting those 5 main points here. It's 5 marks, 1 mark per point. As you put those 5 points here, do not put those points starting with it or pronouns to that matter. So don't put anything that starts with a pronoun because we want to be clear. We want to make sure what the it is, what the pronouns refer to, they and so on. So avoid doing that. Get to the point. If the point is we are talking about water is important to life, don't say it is important to life. Go on to clearly show what you're saying. What is important to life, not it. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So you put those 5 points down, and when you put those 5 points down, you will go on to talk about those points, right? After you put those 5 points down, those 5 points you're going to use to connect and write your summary afterwards. Now, if you are going to write a summary on, let's say, what is important, as you read through this summary about what is important, it is important for you to make jottings on any additional point other than your topic sentence. Let me throw this question out to you all. Can anybody tell me what a topic sentence is? Anyone on the Zoom? Can anybody tell me what a topic sentence is?
There is a sentence that tells you what the paragraph is going to be about.
Paragraph is about. Fair enough. And would your topic sentence or can your topic sentence include examples?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It can. It can. Your topic sentence can include examples. So, but oftentimes it will not. If it includes examples, you're going to ignore the example and focus on the idea that the sentence is talking about, right? So you want to make sure you're following through with that. So in a short sentence, for example, in a short paragraph, for example, there might be a topic sentence in a question or in the form of a example-laced sentence. If that is so, you don't write back the examples, but you summarize what the thing is telling you. Am I there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sir.
So let's go on to look at the 5 points. So you generally would have 5 paragraphs. And in your 5 paragraphs, you will have 1 topic sentence per paragraph. In those topic sentence per paragraph, you would want to make sure that you understand what the topic sentence is. You pretty much have to understand that. So as you read, your topic sentence will tell you what that paragraph is talking about. It will be a clear sentence most times, and it will tell you directly what the entire paragraph is talking about. So if you're saying something like, it will be a good day today. I'll give you a better example. It is located in the middle of South Africa. That will not be your topic sentence. Why? Because it says it will. For us to understand the topic sentence, it will not have a pronoun there. The sentence that spoke about what the it is before that one will be your topic sentence. So let's say, for instance, Ansgrove is located in the middle of South Africa. That's your topic sentence. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes, sir.
sentence with it will not be your topic sentence. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in addition to your finding your topic sentence, there will also be 1 and 2 important things in a paragraph that you might want to include. These are not going to be a supporting topic sentence, but it will be something that might be important that you want to include in your summary. So you have to look for those things. So let's take, for instance, if I can pull up another example. Sorry, guys, taking a bit long. Persons who are just joining us on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and share this with a friend. Good. Let's take, for instance, this first paragraph here. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Somebody read out for me.
Read what, really?
The first paragraph.
For
For
several,
several decades.
you going or not?
For several decades, Caribbean people have used coconut oil, a local product, for different purposes, including hairdressing and cooking. The oil was refined and turned into cooking oil. Trinidad and Tobago exported the oil. Continue, sir.
I didn't get the sentence clearly. You broke up. I
Okay,
don't know if my internet or yours, but you're breaking up terribly. Can you try reading that again?
sir, I'll read it again. For several decades, Caribbean people have used coconut oil, a local product, for different purposes, including hairdressing and cooking. The oil was refined and turned into cooking oil. Some Caribbean islands, including Trinidad and Tobago, exported the oil to foreign markets. Heard me, sir?
Yes, thank you. So in this paragraph, it's a short one. What would our topic sentence be here?
Sir, I think Caribbean people have used coconut oil, a local product for different purposes, including hairdressing and cooking.
Good. So this is a question, this is piggybacking on the question I asked you earlier, if a topic sentence can include an example. Can you see that example there?
Yes, sir.
Good. So in this case, your topic sentence includes an example or examples. You are not going to include those examples in your summary. What is the main point of that topic sentence there? The first sentence is your topic sentence. What is the main point of that topic sentence?
Sir, Caribbean people have used coconut oil.
Good.
Hello.
It's basically showing you that Caribbean people have been using coconut oil, all right, for many reasons or for many purposes. And you start basically with that. So your summary is going to start with the fact that the Caribbean people have used coconut oil for several purposes. Are we there? You are
Yes,
not
sir.
going to go on. You are not going to go on to say for hairdressing and for cooking. If you do that, you are therefore including examples, and that is not going to be in your summary. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So I'm not going
Yes,
to go
sir.
through and do this entire thing with you. I'm just giving you a brief idea of what you're expected to do in the exam. This is what you have to do. Read the paragraph, each of the paragraph, find your topic sentence, underline the topic sentence. You have paid for the exam paper. Underline your topic sentence, and then move on from there. In each paragraph, when you do that, at the end, you will go on to write those topic sentences as your main idea. What would I do when I'm talking about main idea? I would ask myself this. Is this sentence, no, what is it saying to me? What is this sentence saying to me? When I read that sentence, it's saying to me that Caribbean people have used coconut oil or are using coconut oil for several different purposes or for several purposes. That's what it's saying to me. So as my main point under that table or under the listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will write exactly that. Caribbean people have been using coconut oil for several purposes. Full stop. Are you there with me so far?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Give me 1 minute, please, and we will continue with some of the things that we are to exclude from a summary, and we will wrap up the summary and move on. Give me a minute. All right, guys, I'm back with you. Sorry about that. So in your summary, you have 120 words to present to the examiner that you know what you're about. In that 120 words, if you go above that 120 words, it means you have examples there. So in a summary, you have to exclude examples. To exclude examples, you are going to look for those statements that have commas after commas after commas, and you're not going to include those in your summary. If you understand that things like such as, for example, are statements you use just before you put examples, you can almost always find examples. And once you find examples, those are the things that you will not put in your summary. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's look at another example of some things that we do not include. Quotations, let's say, for instance, we're adding evidence or the piece added evidence from a particular source. For instance, somebody quoted me. Let's say, for instance, we were talking about abortion, and somebody said, abortion is bad because it's dangerous to a woman's health. And they quoted the scientist Jamin Hatton to say that abortion can lead to postpartum hemorrhage, which will lead to the death of a woman. You are not going to put in your summary, Jamin Hatton is saying abortion leads to death. If you do that, that's an error. Your summary has to be succinct. It has to be to the point. So when you put that the person is repeating that line, that there, for instance, when you say Jamin Hatton is saying a person can die from postpartum hemorrhage because of an abortion, that will not find its way in your summary. If that goes into your summary, that is an error and you will be penalized for it. So quotations are not put in your summary. Any questions for me at this point? I'm going to break for the questions. Go ahead and ask.
Sir, instead of putting Jamin Atin stated that abortion lead to this, can you state that research showed that it lead to that side effect instead?
You can talk about research show, but don't go on to say the scientists and name the scientists and all of that, right? Good,
Okay, sir.
excellent. Any other questions? Good. So that is it for summary writing. I don't want to talk anything else about that. If you go way below that 120 word, let's say for instance, less than 100, it means that some important information that you should have had there is not there. So you want to go back at your summary or the piece that you were given and make sure you have included the examples, well, include additional information that might be important. I don't have anything to share on my screen at this point, the persons who are asking that on YouTube. I'll share the screen in a bit. So we are not going to discuss summary writing further. So please ask the questions that you might have on summary writing now.
Sir,
Yes.
what are the stuffs you need to know before writing like a summary? Like the stuff you need to left out, like no examples. What more?
Examples, we can all add to them. So let's have different people tell me. What are some of the things that we exclude? Example is one. What else?
Statistics.
Quotations. What else?
Repetition.
Repetition. Somebody said statistics. Good. And the person who said statistics, how do we go on to summarize The ideas of statistics. Who said statistics just now? Okay, can anybody answer that? How do we go about summarizing the ideas of statistics instead of saying the numbers?
Sir, when they have 90% or any number high, you say instead of saying the full 90%, you say majority of them.
Okay, Ms. Barker, your information, your mic was unmuted just now. You want to say something?
It was almost the same thing, sir.
Good. Majority, a minority, an average number. The average number is when you're going to talk about like around 50 or a fair amount, right? But don't use average if you don't know how to use the word average. Who's G? Please rename yourself as your first and last name. I'm going to have to kick you.
Okay, I'll rename myself in a minute. Hold on a minute.
Yes. So that is it. So your stats, examples, repetition, definition, questions. It's important not to question. Any example of literary devices, don't go in your summary. So if you see similes and so on, you don't put that there. Somebody asked if I turn off my lights. Okay. Yeah, so those don't go into your summary. Any other questions there? Does that answer the question for you?
Yes, sir.
Good. Any other question that relates to the summary? This is your last chance to ask that. Anybody on YouTube? Want to ask any final question about summary writing? When we move on, we're moving on. Salim, how's the weather in Trinidad?
Down south today wasn't raining. It was quite sunny for me.
Good, good, good. Miss Haynes, where you're from?
Barbados.
How's the weather in Barbados?
It's pretty good now after the passage of Elsa, but we're good.
All right, good, good. I'm happy to hear. I saw somebody's roof went flying.
Yeah, we're good here. Thanks for checking in.
All right. Talita, where you from?
Linden, sir.
Linden. How's Linden? Y'all still dusty up there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. Bishop, what's up?
Sir, Diana.
How's well?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So we're moving on now to our argumentative. Should we do argument now or section B now?
Section B.
Argument. Should we do argument now or section B now?
Section B. Section B.
Okay. Section B it is. So what are some of the things you know that can come in section B? So the summary was section A for those of you who weren't paying attention. Section B would be things like letter writing, email writing, help me out, my brain is frozen. What else?
Notice.
Notice. Report writing, thank you. This report writing can also be statistical report writing too, right? Many teachers don't teach it, but it can be in the exam. It can be in the exam. Here, what I want to tell you. I have a video on YouTube on statistical report writing. Students, I don't think it's going to come. But what I hate having students going exams and are surprised. So just please open that video on statistical report writing and just look at it. That's all I'm asking. Just look at it. If it comes, you won't be surprised too much. But don't go into the exam without looking at it. And then you see it, you'll start crying. Jesus, Lord. Jesus will really weep. Please. The video is on YouTube. Very short video, very interactive video. You will like it. Memo. Memo can also be there. Miss Haynes, am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, I don't think you're forgetting anything. Letter writing, email, notice, report. That's it. That sounds like, that looks more like it. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Miss. Good. So letter, email, notice. So we're going to go through the format of all of these. And when you go to the exam, one of this will be on the exam. So you have all of these possible things, but only one will be on the exam. This section is worth the most marks. I think it's 30. 30, I think. That is the heaviest part of the exam. So you want to make sure you do a very good section. Somebody saying resume and letter and application, that will come on the letter writing, right? So make sure you have a good section, section B. Your section B, one of this will come. If you're to ask me what I think will come, I am saying focus on this, focus on this. If it's not notice, it will be this, report, right? But it's gonna be one of these three things. And if they feel a bit spicy tomorrow, they can throw in a memo there. The memo is just like the notice. All you do instead of writing the word notice, you write the word memorandum or the word memo. You there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please ask
Yes, sir.
questions. Please ask questions. Anything?
Sir,
can
is
you give us an
to write down all of them?
Yes, I'll give you the example, the format for all of them. Good. Moving on. First one we're looking at is the letter. I like to teach a traditional letter where we have the two address on opposite sides. This will be your sender's address. You're seeing my screen, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
And the receiver's address. You have your date. Sender's address, receiver's address. Your sender's address will be the person who is sending the letter, if you didn't know that. And sometimes students don't understand what is a sender, who's the sender, who's the receiver. Let me see how I can make this clearer. The sender is the person writing the letter. The receiver is the person collecting the letter. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Thank Jesus. Sometimes you just think people understand certain things and they don't. All right. So I'm hoping that you're following what I'm saying. So let's go on to actually talk about how we punctuate this address, because I'm big on punctuation. I am big on punctuation. So let's talk. Let's say so I'm writing from 123 Clonbrook. This is not my address, and it's Clonbrook, and there's a second line that says housing scheme. And there's another part that says East Coast, Demerara. And yeah, that's my address. How do I punctuate this address? At the end of each line, once the address has not been brought to an end, are you seeing my email that popped in just now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Good. Clonbrook, comma, housing scheme, comma, Demerara, full stop. Wherever the address comes to an end, that is where you put your full stop. After the address, you have to, at the end of each line, there needs to be a comma or a full stop. When the address comes to the end, that's where you're putting the full stop. Then you have your date. The date in this case, let's say it is January 2nd, 2021. Do not write the shortened format of any date. This is wrong. Write the date out in full like that. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
I am
Yes, sir.
teaching you to do the traditional format. If your teachers tell you to do block format, you're free to go ahead and do that. I am traditional. All right? Good. The receiver address now. Let's say you're writing a letter to a manager. This manager is the manager at cheap furniture store. So the name of the manager is Mr. Singh. Mr. Singh, well, let me not say Singh because Mr. James. Mr. James, and he is the manager. Where is he the manager of? Cheap
Bounce there.
Banks DIH, whatever it is. Where is the furniture store? It is at 100 Georgetown Avenue. Let's say that's a place. Where is Georgetown Avenue? It's in Georgetown. What does your punctuation mark tell you? Your punctuation mark tells you this, a story. Mr. James, where is he? He is the manager. He's a manager. Where is he the manager of? Cheap furniture store. Where is cheap furniture store? 100 Georgetown Avenue. Where is the 100 Georgetown Avenue? It's in Georgetown. When your address comes to an end, you put a full stop. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions on that?
No, okay.
Good. Now, if I am to put in a greeting, I will tell you, do not skip a line. Go to the next line that comes after the address and put in the dear Mr. James. Make a note. Remember this. Make a note of this. Once you put the person's name at the top here, that person's name comes back here. And once a name is included here, how you will end the letter is sincerely yours or yours sincerely. Please note that yours does not have a comma and apostrophe. That's nonsense. Yours is yours, a possessive pronoun. Yours, all right? So yours sincerely or sincerely yours. If no name is given and you're gonna put dear sir, madam, you will end with yours. Yours what? My students are here.
Faithfully.
Faithfully, sir.
Yours faithfully. Yours faithfully. Good. So no name, faithfully. Once you put the person's name, you end with sincerely. Can you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Good. And then you go on to put the details of your letter. After that, dear sir, madam, or that name of the person, comma, reference line, and you put your reference. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, your reference is a short statement that tells what the letter is about or tells what the thing is about that you're writing. You need to have a reference or a subject line for everything you write. Everything you write must have a reference or a subject line. Let's stop here to tell the persons who are on YouTube looking on, if the live views, the persons watching, does not match the persons liking my video, I'll end the live. So get it up, get it up. If the views don't match the live count, I'm gonna end the live. Good. So reference RE is a short statement that tells what the thing is about. So take, for instance, I'm saying we are writing a letter to complain of an expired good. What would you say would be your reference line there? Anybody wants to attempt? If you bought a can of milk, that milk was expired, and you want to write a letter to complain about that good, what would you put as a reference line? Let me hear some examples. Go ahead. This is where you get it wrong. Get it wrong now.
Expired goods.
Expired goods. Okay, you want to specify what is a good. So you can say expired milk or expired can of milk. You can say expired rice.
What was that?
If you don't have any sort of behavior, I'm going to kick you out of the Zoom class. Let's not have that repeating itself. I'm very serious about that. It's the night before your CXC exam. If you want to make yourself a fool, you by all means go and make yourself a fool somewhere else. Good.
Sir,
Continuing. Yes?
sir, do you always have to put a reference line?
Yes, you should put a reference line. It's a part of your marks that you will get. Any other question? Let me give you another situation, and you'll give me some examples. We are writing a letter to the furniture store that promised you 2 weeks ago to bring your furniture. Let's say a dining set that you bought, and that dining set has not been brought as yet. What would you put there as your reference line?
Unreliable service.
No. Anyone else?
So waiting delivery.
What's that?
Awaiting delivery.
Awaiting delivery? You gotta put something else than that. That's vague.
Sir, delayed delivery.
Or item not received.
Delayed delivery or incomplete delivery, late delivery, something of that effect, right? Or late delivery of the product, and you put the product there. Late delivery of furniture, of dining set. Something that tells the person who's looking at the letter what it is that this letter is about. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's go on now to talking about our actual paragraphs. The first paragraph to everything you write will be an introduction. So you put your introduction in. After your introduction, give a brief statement that relates to that reference line, but a little bit more detail. So this missive serves to inform you of the furniture or the dining set I purchased on January 15, 2020, that I am still awaiting to be delivered, full stop. Then you go on to now give all the details in your subsequent paragraph. What is the receipt number? When was the purchase made? At what time? What did you buy? What is the color of the furniture? Something to that effect. All the possible details you can give, you will give that. No, you don't skip a line. Don't skip a line. All you do is simply indent to show your paragraph. Jermaine is Guyanese, so he's from Guyana, for the person who's asking on YouTube. Good. Any questions there?
No, sir.
Good. You thought this man was Bajan?
Sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, the reference go right beneath James, right?
Yes. So you just at the bottom of the comma, you put RE and you put your reference there, and you underline it. And each of the important word will start with a capital letter. For example, late, let's give you an example, delivery. Capital L, capital D, of dining set. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what's the best way to end your letter?
With a conclusion.
No, like how to
So you when you're ending your letter, put some sort of conclusion. Repeat what you're affected by, and then go on to give a suggestion or a recommendation on how you want the problem to be resolved. So are you expecting to have this product delivered in the next 24 hours? Are you expecting to have a complete refund? Are you expecting to be given a different product back? What do you expect? And that will come from what you are writing about. And you want to put that in your last paragraph. Don't cuss anybody out. Don't tell me bring me thing or else. Don't do that. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shit. Yes, let me hear questions. No question? Good. Moving on. So we have finished this here. No, I'm not giving the Zoom link to people on YouTube. You can learn right here. You don't have to get a Zoom link to learn. I can't control a big, noisy class tonight. Let's move on. The next thing on our list would be what? Where did I put there just now? Memo, notice, what was it? Notice, let's talk about the notice. The first thing on our notice, if you have to write a notice, they will tell you what you have to write. The thing will clearly say what you have to write. Write a notice, write a letter, write an email, write a report. Whatever they tell you to do in that line there, that's what you do. Write a report, write a notice. Write this, write that. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So the first thing you write in a notice is the organization that the organization that the notice is coming from. So let's say the organization is a school, name the school here. And every other word will be capitalized as well, right? After that, we write the word notice, right? Anybody else from my class wants to go ahead and lead this conversation here? Hello?
Yeah, you would put notice and block letters, and then you would follow it with a date.
Good. So you have to actually write the word notice. If you were putting if you're asked to do a memo, at this point you will put the word memo here. Don't write notice and memo. Instead of writing notice, you will put the word memo. If it's a memo, you will include as well from and to. And that's all that's different. And you go on to still put your date, and then you go on to actually write, right? But for the notice now, all you do is write the word notice, and you go on to actually do that notice, right? So you put your date in full, and you go on to write. I like to say, first thing is your introduction. You don't have to do a big, long introduction. Just briefly state what this notice is about. This missive serves to inform of the upcoming examinations, full stop. And you just jump into what the notice is about. I like introductions. CXC likes introductions as well. When you do that, it tells it gives a nice format to what you're writing. Let's have some questions. Let me advise the people on YouTube again. This is your second warning. You wouldn't have a third one. The number of likes for this video must match the number of people watching. So you're all behind on 200. Good. Let's go. Questions? No question?
No, sir.
Good. Guess everything is clear there. And after your section, after your notice, you have to end. How do you end? Your notice will end with a signature. Let's say the person writing the notice is the principal. The person will sign. So that's the signature of the person. After you finish writing the signature or you're signing, you're gonna write whose signature that is now. So James Doe. At the bottom of that, you put a designation of James Doe. Is James Doe the head teacher? Is James Doe the principal? Just write that. Principal, and that is sufficient. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Do not write yours sincerely here. Do not write yours sincerely here. That is an element of your letter, not this, the report writing, or not the notice, right? Your report, you do the same thing with your ending as you would do for the notice, right? You will sign, state who is the person that's signing there, and then you go on to say the designation of that person. Same thing. So let's go on to look at the format now for the report. Who's going to guide me with that? How do we start the report?
You're gonna put the date first.
Good. So we start with our date. What else?
Position the person you're writing to.
We put in to and from and your subject. Did we include the subject just now for the notice? Did we do that?
No, sir.
Let's go back. Let's go back. So after our date would be our subject. And the same way that we wrote that subject just now from the letter writing, you do the same thing here. Everything in that
Sir,
section B,
so we're using RE.
you can write the word subject. You can actually write the word, so you can use R, it doesn't matter. But everything you're doing, you have to include that subject. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. For the notice, right? That is what the subject. The subject was the introduction you were talking about. This notice is to inform.
I don't understand your question.
Sir, just now you were saying that this notice is to inform, and you said go on to write whatever it is. Is that the subject or just the
No,
introduction?
that wouldn't be your subject, would be your introduction. Your subject would be the same thing we spoke about when we talked about the letter writing. A brief statement that tells what the notice is about. So if the notice is about upcoming examination dates, just write that, upcoming examination dates.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Whatever the notice is about, that's what your subject will be. So let's go back to our report now. So this is your report. Your report, you have your dates, you have to, you have from, you have your subject, right? The thing that is important here is this reference, this subject line, and that date. Very, very important, right? And then you go on to actually write. I like to start with an introduction as well. This report or this missive serves to inform of the accident that took place on January 1st, 1990. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? So for the section B, it is just giving information. The information you're giving is information that will be given to you. So you're writing back your information as given, right? Of course, you have to choose what is important and what is not so important you exclude, but you have to write back the information that CX is going to give to you. So you have to be careful what you choose. When you're writing a report, you should answer these questions. What happened? When it happened? Where it happened? How it happened? Give the information surrounding that. To whom did it happen? Give the information as it surrounds those W's. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. And how do we end that again?
Signature and position.
Signature, name, position. Questions on the report? Good. I'm pulling the Caribbean tonight. Okay. Thank you. 699 likes and 13 on dislike. Wow. Interesting. But that'll be 13 red women. I gotta kill them negative spirit down, you know? Nobody likes them people though. Bad mind, good morning. Yes. Questions, ask the questions, please.
How are you?
How am I? I'm tired. Very tired. Very, very tired. No question? Yeah, moving on. I hate hearing I hate hearing my voice. Yeah. Any question on the report? What else do we have under this section? The email is pretty much the same thing to the letter. All you do is put an electronic address. So we're writing from to date subject. Dear Sir, Madam. Or the person's name, put your comma, and go on to write. The number of paragraphs are really not necessary. What is necessary is what you put in your piece. So you have to include the pertinent information. Just make sure you have an introduction and a conclusion. That's what's important to me. What position would you state when you're writing an accident report? Very good question. In that point, you will say, let's say, eyewitness or witness as your position. Any other questions? So the persons who are asking about CC and BCC for the email, you don't do that unless they tell you to do that. So the term CC is used when you are putting a copy of this email to someone else. Let's say they tell you to write an email to your boss and attach a copy to your coworker. You're putting that person's email address there. But CXE will not give you all of that complicated stuff, right? If you want to know about BCC and CC, go and look at my YouTube video on email writing. It's right there laid out for you nicely. I don't want to stress the time tonight to talk about those important things or those non-important things in this important life. So we're not going to talk about that here. What's the format of the report? I just spoke about that. I'm not doing that again. Good. Moving on. Is there anything else I will talk about in that section? Section B?
Statistical report.
Not going to talk about that. There's a YouTube video on that. Not going to talk about that. You can check that YouTube video out. It has an example as well. There, if you even have a question there, you can work as well. Not going to talk about that. I've just discussed about the report writing. I'm not talking about it again. The persons who are asking on that. I have a video on YouTube talking about that. You can check that out quickly. Counterproductive. Moving on now to our argumentative essay. Or the persuasive essay. Some teachers like to go on at lengths at how these two things are different. They're pretty much asking you to do the same thing. Really asking you to do the same thing, right? So what are we required to do here? We're required to talk about a particular topic, trying to convince someone on a particular side that we're on, right? Let me just back up. A question is asked here. Is it important to indent when writing an email? I will tell you yes. Always indent to show your paragraphs. I like to see that. Indent to show your paragraphs. For the persons on YouTube who are asking me a question, please mention me in the question so I can see it. If you don't mention me, I wouldn't see it. I'm not reading through all the comments. Good. So, the argumentative essay. Anybody want to suggest a topic? I have a nice video on this argumentative essay as well. You might want to cue that up if you're not very sure.
All students.
I heard all students.
Sir, all students must study at least one foreign language. All students must study at least one foreign language until the end of their secondary school education.
I'm not really mindful of doing back the 2021 paper, right?
Sir?
Can you hear me? Hello? You guys can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't want to really write back, I don't want to really do back that January 2021. I don't like the topic. But anyway, let's talk about it. Foreign language and students. So foreign language. What I tell my students to do is put a nice table down and write for, please mute your microphones, and against.
Okay, hold on, that's what
For and against. When you put for and against, you write the points that you have for your topic and the points you have against your topic. CX, you're not going to ask you things about dogs are better than cats and uniforms in school. Not going to happen. Good. So for and against. So you're going to put the points you have for the foreign language to be taught in schools. What are some of the reasons we think we should teach foreign language in schools? Let's go.
Able to have jobs or able to get jobs in any country.
So we can have more competitive applications. Okay, good. What else? Why might we want to teach foreign language in schools?
So that children could be bilingual.
So that children can be bilingual. The question I'm asking is, why do we want them to become bilingual?
Sure, enhances listening skills and memory.
Enhance. So you okay. So that's a good point. You can write something to the effect that when students learn a foreign language, it enhances their listening skills, memory, and all of that. Fair enough. Good, good.
What about history? So if they know certain language, could help with knowing history or culture.
If they know foreign language, what about history?
So they will know like the language, history, and culture.
Okay, not sure that's a very strong point.
Yeah.
Anything else?
It helps them to become sophisticated.
Help them become sophisticated. Okay, that's very low on the point list. Don't write that down. I'm asking you, why is foreign language important? What does foreign language offer? It increases their learning abilities in terms of language and grammar and all overall development. Fair enough. I can agree with that. What else?
Learning a foreign language for especially business students allows them to when they to conduct business with people who speak that foreign language.
Good. They're able to conduct business. So that might be trading, that might be work, that might be anything else, right? Fair enough. Allows more opportunities for the world. Yes. Communicate with neighbors. Allows opportunities to work around the world. Yes, I've seen that already. The person repeating the same message, eating over and over. What's wrong? Yeah. Somebody's being weird. Good. Against now. Why should we not teach foreign language in school? English and math require more instructional period. You guys are hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
To ensure these children are going to pass the core subjects, they need more time with the main subjects of English and math. Foreign language is not necessary in that sense. So you can basically say they can learn that on the job, or they can learn it in real life rather than learn it in school, right? That's a point. What might another reason be against teaching foreign
It's
language?
time consuming.
Say it again.
It's time consuming. Take up most of your time.
It's time consuming. Where I think that would tie into English and math and instructional period. But okay, fair enough. Anything else?
Sir, classes are expensive.
Right. So we can have the fact that not just the classes are expensive, but the persons to teach the classes are not readily available. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Another point?
So what about the point that is mentioned earlier, about like if they're learning another language, like their culture, like forget it or neglect it, something like that.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Any other points? As to why foreign language in school might be important or not important, against rather.
Lack of motivation.
Lack of motivation, okay. That's something you might throw in there when you have nothing else to write. Fair enough. The students might not see the need for writing that foreign language or to do that foreign language at the point, right? So motivation is lacking. Fair enough. Good. So you have your points down and you go ahead now and put those points in paragraphs to talk about your argument. Let me go on and show you what I'm talking about. I've been teaching like this since 2010. I like using a blank sheet like this to really enforce this essay. So let's go. The first thing you write is an introduction. Your second, third, and fourth paragraph is your body. Your final paragraph is your conclusion. Introduction, why are you writing? What is this essay going to show us? Your body, remember those points you listed there just now? Those points are going to come in the body of your letter, in the body of your argument or your essay here. And the final paragraph, your conclusion, will sum up what you have talked about, will sum up the reason of this, sum up the reasons for saying what you're saying in this essay. So let's say we're talking about abortion. Abortion should be made illegal since it is dangerous to a woman's health. I'm talking about the conclusion here, right? It's dangerous to a woman's health. It's biblically wrong. That's a poor argument, by the way. Don't talk about the Bible in your arguments. Biblically wrong, and it can lead to a decrease in the world's population. Let's say that. So your conclusion will be something like that. Abortion should be made illegal since it can lead to the death of our women folk. It can lead to a decrease in our population, and it is religiously wrong. Full stop. After such an argument, can a logical person disagree? You put that in there as a rhetorical question to nicely end off your argument. What about a counter argument? I will always teach a counter argument, and it will be a good technique, but I really don't want to stress you out here tonight with that counter. I can do it though, for the person who's asking. So remember, we listed those points just now. A counter argument, this is a brilliant technique that you can talk about tomorrow. It's where you present the opposite argument, the strongest point on the opposite side of your argument, and try to make that strong point seem not so important anymore. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say we are talking about, what did we just say our topic was? English and math. require more instructional period. Fair enough. So some may argue. Somebody want to say something? Okay. Some may argue that mathematics and English language need more instructional periods. But, and this is where you bring in, at this point here, you bring in a point from your argument to show that that argument that somebody else will make is not so important. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to look at an argument somebody else would make. We didn't write it down. Oh boy. Help me here. What's another argument to say why foreign language should be taught in schools? So some may argue that mathematics and English need more instructional periods. How do we continue there? But, let's hear. Somebody was saying something.
But foreign languages can help you carry out business with foreign exporters.
Fair enough. Let's talk about that. Let me show you. But can these subjects allow you to adequately trade with foreign businessmen or women? Question mark. So you're mentioning that strong point on the opposite side, and you're trying to make it seem like that strong point on the opposite side is not so strong anymore. That's your counter. That's your counter argument. Let me give you a better one. Let's talk about abortion. So let's say one of the points that somebody might want to talk about abortion. Some may argue that abortions should be the right of a woman. Should be the right of a woman and no one else. We tie in now the harmful nature of the abortion to show that if the argument that someone might make of it being the right of a woman is not so important. But sometimes even a woman needs to be protected from herself. Research shows that 1 in 6 abortions end in death from sepsis. Are we giving them the right to die? The right to die? Can you see what I'm doing there? The right. The argument was about the person having the right. And I'm playing back on that same word right to show that that point is not so important anymore. Talk to me, class. Everybody's there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is your counter argument. Your counter argument need not be in the essay. If you don't understand it, don't do it. If you understand it, it will give you some good marks in the exam. Good. Now let's go on to talk about the story. I'm going to give you a story, and I will give the person who has the best introduction to the story a sweetie. So let's go. Yeah, a sweetie can give you. My screen is frozen. Sorry. Can you hear me still?
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with this thing? All right, let me just restart this quickly. All right, Miss Haynes, thank you for dropping by.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful evening, and I wish all the students success. Bye.
Thank you.
I was hoping somebody say thank you. Good. All right, so let's continue. Where am I? Good. So the story. I have to go drink some water because I'm gonna shout here, and I really don't want to appear like a crazy person, so I have to calm myself down. You're given something like this. Somebody want to say something? Please mute your microphones if you're not talking. Good. Let's say you're given this. He kissed her on the forehead and waved goodbye. Little did they know it would have been the last time. My penmanship is bad. I know. Yeah. He kissed her on the forehead and waved goodbye. Little did they know it would have been the last time. Write a story including this. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Do not write a story that explains what is happening here. Don't go on to say he kissed her on the forehead because he was going to work, and when he waved her goodbye, she didn't respond, but the wave is telling him that what the hell? Don't do that. All you're doing is mentioning this line and smoothly continue with your story. The story just has to include this. You don't have to go on to explain why he did this and yada, yada, yada. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Am I making sense? Or am I making, well, I'm not making any of that. So actually, I even ask that point. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Is Miss Juliana's still here. I wonder where she went to. Questions. I'm giving you 10 minutes to write an introduction for me. The story does not have to include this as the introduction, right? So you can write your normal story that you've been practicing, and then you include this line here at whatever point that you are comfortable with. The CXC exam will tell you to do it at the start. If they tell you to write a story that begins with this, you start with a line. If they tell you to write a story that ends with it, it ends with it. Oftentimes, they will just tell you to include it in the story. Just include it anywhere. At the start, at the end, or the middle, doesn't matter. Are we there?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead, take 10 minutes and write a story for me. Write an introduction to a story for me. And the person with the best introduction will get a virtual sweetie. We are wrapping this up. We are going now into the paper one, and the paper one is big business, right? So you definitely want to get in on that. The person's on YouTube. I'm disconnecting this live in a few minutes, unless I can get rid of those 14 dislikes. I'm being bitter now. Somebody saying the dark chocolate is getting white now. We don't bleach. What's wrong with you? The dark chocolate will always remain supreme. How's your introduction coming? Anybody's writing an introduction there for me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just now.
Yes.
Good, good. Let me tell you all a story about Bad Mind. Bad Mind is some people who would join your life trying to get free English lessons at the middle of the 11th hour before the day of the exam and disliking your YouTube video, and you're providing free education to them. That is Bad Mind. Hello, good morning. You see, I had a red woman once, and these persons who were disliking the YouTube video remind me of that red woman. Hello, good morning, bad mind. Two minutes more for the intros. Somebody's asking if the story can be a flashback. Definitely. Those are going to be the good things that you should include, your techniques. If you can do a flashback, though, that's perfectly okay. So what is a flashback? You might ask. A flashback is where you start with something and then you go in to explain how we got at this thing. All right. For the persons who have not seen that YouTube video I have on short story writing, I can just quickly bring it up and read the first line, the first two paragraphs for you to see what a flashback can sound like. And then I'm going to ask you to read, a few persons to read their introductions, and then we'll move on from there. So I'm reading that for you now. As I stood there, my very soul cried out. She hung there like a black apostrophe to pain. Emotions didn't fail to elude my already sundered eyes. At that very moment, it seemed that all I knew was pain, black biting pain. She was gone, my only hope. Now I was all alone and I had to face the unimaginably painful reality. That is your flashback introduction. So what was happening there? The flashback is that somebody died, is gone. So now you're gonna flash back, you're gonna go back to show how we got there. I'm sure you've all seen a movie where you start with something bad, some action, and then you say 1 year earlier, or 6 months earlier, 6 years earlier. It goes back to explain to us how we got to the situation we're in. Are you there with me? Yes, sir. Y'all sleeping? Don't sleep on me as yet. You still have to.
No, sir.
Know what? You don't understand?
Yes, sir, I understand. Sir, can I read mine?
Mine, not mine. Yeah, you can
Mine?
read yours in a bit, just now. So
Okay,
let me
sir.
show you how I do the flashback here. It all started, and that's showing you going back. It all started that day when we left the little shack we had called home for 16 years. My sister, my motivation, my strength was the only friendly face I can recall. Where we came from, I can't remember. What I can remember, however, was the bitterness I felt when I looked at other little boys. They had it all: a mother, father, money, shoes, and looks. All this did was break my already crushed heart. That's my paragraph. So it all started is going back to tell me what is the story and developing that story as we move forward. Good. So you can try that technique. The full video is on YouTube. Just type in my name, Jamin Hatton, the good looking, next to short story writing, and you will find that video there. It's important that you put in the actual word good looking, huh? Because you wouldn't get the right video. So let's go. Your summary, your stories now. Who wants to go first?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Leroy Donovan was always a leader and protector of his family. So when the day came for him to return back to the war, his family was shattered again, but this time it was most unforgettable.
Okay. So that's what? A flashback you're trying to do there?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. Anyone else wants to go ahead? I think the paragraph's a bit too short. You can put in something else. So you can add in a description of the surrounding. You can add in a description of the mood, how people are feeling in the story. That will give me something else, right? That will give me something that you want to do there. That might be important. Mm-hmm. So whenever you want to add bulk to what you're writing, go on to throw a description in. Describe the mood. Describe how someone is feeling. Describe a conversation. Write a conversation. Include a conversation there. And that will help you to get over the line, right? Somebody's asking, can it be a dream? Why not? It can be anything you want to write. You are the god of the story. Anything you want to write, put it there. Just don't cuss up anybody. Caribbean students like cuss up, cuss up, cuss up. If you cuss me and I'm marking your exam, you're going to fail. So pray I don't mark your exam or don't curse. Good. Any other first paragraphs? Zanelli, dazzle us with your intellect.
Sure.
You didn't write the first paragraph?
No, sir.
All right, good, good. Anybody else want to read theirs?
Yes, sir.
Go on.
It was the first month. It was the 1st of December. Christmas was getting slow. Christmas was getting closer. The marketplace was a mess, filled with people of all nature. Vendors were shouting, people were buying, the cars were blowing, and I was just walking by. For I had no intentions to be here. I just wanted to leave. I was just tired. I just wanted to leave. I was just tired. That was my introduction. Sorry.
That's a lot of things going on there. All right. Fair enough. Good. What I want to let you
Yes,
guys know,
sir.
you have to start with a paragraph. You have to actually indent to show your paragraph. Please also indent to show conversations. when your characters are speaking, every time a new character speaks, go into a new line to show that. All right? How do you get into the Zoom link? It's a private Zoom link. I don't want a fish market tonight, so I'm not going to share that link out. Good. So you're looking now at January 2021. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, pay attention to what's happening here. You might see some of these questions come back, right? So what I noticed immediately looking at this, CXC has introduced almost 70% of new questions in this paper. If this trend continue, you are going to see new questions on the exam tomorrow as well. If you see new questions, don't panic. Just do what you have to do and understand what you're required to do. So read your question carefully. Take your time and do your work. You can do it. You have it within you. For heaven's sakes, you've been speaking English for 16 years of your life. Are you going to fail an English exam? That is preposterous, ludicrous. What nonsense. Absurd. You can't possibly fail an English exam. So don't. Please don't. You're looking at opposites. First thing we will do here is underline our main idea, our instruction, just so we are following, right? So the top there says opposite. I can't see it at this point, but it says opposite at the top. So you're doing that underlining just to make sure that you're always remembering what you're looking at. Good. So the first sentence, someone read the first sentence for me.
The distinguished actor avoided the press whenever he was on holidays. A. Praise. B.
No.
Attack.
That's not how we do these questions. When you're doing this question here, read the question, ask yourself what this word avoided means. Then you're looking for the opposite to that word in the option. When you do it that way, you find immediately what the error is or what the answer is before you actually jump into the answer. So if somebody's avoiding something, Jamal, what are they trying to do?
So they ain't trying to go close to it or near, keeping the distance.
They're what? Keeping far. Good. So if they're going to keep far, what's the opposite of keeping far?
Being near, sir.
Being near. Oh God. All right, fair enough. Look at the options now and tell me which one is the closest to being near.
Contacted, sir. C.
Contacted. Very good. If you walk it through like that, you will always get your answers. Walk it through like that, you will always get your answers. Yeah, I'm seeing the persons who are saying I'm not seeing on YouTube. I'm seeing you, so go ahead and answer. Practice it there. Good. So compassionate. The compassionate man was known by many in the crowd. Compassionate would be someone like me who is doing this live, consuming my time, my sleep, my energy, and all of that to help the Caribbean people who are looking at this video. Compassionate. What is compassionate? A mockingbird, and yet I'm going to be killed. I'm killed with these dislikes. Huh? Life could fear.
Sarcasm.
I would not see you. Tell me, what is the meaning of compassionate here?
So not like being kind or
They're like love and determination.
Kind, okay, good. And what do we see here? Kind, loving, all of those good stuff. The opposite of that would be what?
Cruel, sir. B.
Cruel, sir.
Cruel. Everybody's there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There. Somebody read the next sentence for me, please.
As far as I am concerned, the lattice windows are the most conspicuous feature on the building.
Conspicuous. If something is conspicuous, it means it's very clear, right? So the opposite of conspicuous would be what?
Insignificant.
Insignificant.
Insignificant. Good. So you might say negative too. Negative might be the other one other than insignificant, but the best one is insignificant. Good. Question 4.
It's improbable that the country will maintain the curfew for another week.
If something is probable, it means it's what?
Likely.
Likely. Very good. So the opposite of likely would be what?
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Guys, take part. I know what I'm telling you. You will not remember the cramming of the answers. If you remember, at least you took part in the question. That might be a hint as to help you tomorrow in the exam. So I'm urging you to take part. Good. Someone to read the next sentence.
Many teenagers
and even some parents do not agree with the amount of restrictiveness in today's society.
If somebody is restricting you or restrictiveness, what would that be?
Permissiveness.
Now, what would the word restrictive mean? Restrict means to do what?
Stopping you from doing something.
Good. The opposite of that would be what?
To stop.
Caesar. To give permission.
Good.
Permit.
Good. Next. So we're looking at the errors in spelling. What if it's misspelled? And we're saying, read the first one there for us.
It is my pleasure to give you some information concerning proper nutrition.
What is incorrectly spelled there?
No error, sir.
No error, sir.
None.
Good. Everything is correctly spelled. Don't go to the exam and say, oh, this must be a D. That's another D. Another D. D. You just failed. There won't be more than 2 D's in this section. Right? So don't put everything D. If you can't spell the word, that doesn't mean the answer is D. You gotta look for the word that you can't spell. Only God gonna know how you're gonna help to find it. But anyway, you gotta try.
It is possible, sir.
I tell you, close your eye and drop your pencil on an answer. That must be the one correct at times, you know. I wrote many exams in my life. And at time I went in an exam, I had a tight spot. When I said tight. I answer everything I know. And then after that, I had to just close my eye, any, miny, more, and pick an answer. You couldn't get anything else.
How you do in the exam?
I got an A, boy. I got an A in the exam.
That was good.
God has come true. God has come true. Anyway, let's stop there for a bit. In your exam tomorrow, the paper 1, you will have A, B, C, D, and they're going to give it to you like this at the bottom there. You are going to circle with your HB pencil your option that you're choosing as the answer, right? Something like that. If you're choosing B, please make sure that what you're circling is the B option. This will be marked by the computer, and the computer is going to pick up based on how heavy your pencil has marked the option. So please take your time and do that. Make sure you have a nice HB pencil for tomorrow, all right? You there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I just thought I should throw that in because my brain is working all over. I'll forget it before I leave tonight. Good. Question 2. Let's have that. But he said if you're not sure, the answer is always C. C is for correct. All right. Is he watching me on YouTube and here in the class? Please mute your microphone. The nurses?
The nurses were given separate quarters, but the main building did not have enough room for them.
What's the error there?
Separate.
Separate, sir.
Separate. Good. It's separate and not separate. That's a British man speaking there. Sounds like Jamal. Separate.
Okay.
Next. Someone else read the next one.
The arguments put forward by the irate parent merely help to further. I said irate.
No, you said irate.
You said irate.
Oh, sorry.
That is
To
the
further
worst.
aggravate the
Ever heard
situation.
a man speaking
C is
like
the
that.
answer.
What's the answer?
C.
C.
Okay, so what that should be? 2 G's?
Yeah, 2G, sir. 2G.
2 G's, not 2G.
Jeez.
Dude, come on.
Next, question 9.
The opinion that men are superior to
All right,
women
Jamal.
is of
Give someone else a chance. Thank you for taking part. Go and drink a little water. You're thirsty. Next.
The opinion that men are superior to women is a fallacy which men themselves perpetuate.
Perpetuate. No. Men are not better than women. Men are not better than women at all. Women are far superior. And if you accept that fact, you will live a very happy married life. Salim, you want to say something there?
It's equal.
The red woman.
very equal.
Hello, Salim. Don't get me started on the red woman by. Don't do that to me. All women are superior than men except red women.
Very equal for everybody.
Better statement. All right. Good. Any errors there?
No.
Good. No error there. It's fine. So D. You have our second D. If you see a third D here, something wrong. Go and check it back. You clearly can't spell. Something wrong. Not more than 2. Good. His intelligence rather than his height was the deciding factor. Is a woman to think now? How do you spell height?
There's
Sir, the answer is
B, sir. H-E.
E before I. E before I. Same thing with receive. Some of you can't spell receive to save your life. Receive is spelled like this. Whenever the C is in front, you change the form, the order of the E and the I. E comes before I when C is in front. That's a rule in English. Otherwise, to that, it's always I-E, but because C is in front, it is E-I. Receive is spelled like this. There's a certain type of intelligence that comes with people who can spell the word receive correctly. And many of you don't have that kind of intelligence. I'm joking. Don't cry, please. So
That's what I thought.
the answer there is B. Who's dark chocolate? Somebody who wants to be like me, I guess.
Okay,
Question.
We have an imposter.
Imposter, sauce. Good. So now we're moving on to these. We are changing. We are shifting the construction, shifting construction to mean the same thing or close to the same thing, right? Somebody read the first one for me. These are quite short, so they'll be fun to do.
The cricket match ended abruptly when many of the spectators stormed the field. Begin the sentence with many of the spectators stormed.
So you're beginning with
A,
many.
so, B, but, C, getting, D, preventing.
Yeah. So many of the spectators stormed the field. So the cricket match ended abruptly, but the cricket match ended abruptly. Getting the cricket match ended abruptly, preventing the cricket match ending abruptly. What's your answer?
So.
So it's correct.
Sir.
Everybody here with me?
Yes, sir.
Question 2. Well, 12. Somebody else go ahead.
People from crowded nations cannot get over the accessibility of Canada's natural environment in all its significance. Begins the sentence with, it is impossible for Sir B, sir.
It is impossible for people from crowded nations to get over the accessibility of Canada's natural environment in all of its significance. B would be correct. Next.
She found even after she had made several attempts to regulate the sprinkler that the water was still reaching the furniture on the veranda. So the answer is A.
Right. So here what you're doing here, the person's asking to explain. What you're doing here is just shifting part of the sentence to come before another part to mean the same thing. Look at this one. Let's go back to the first one. It's a very simple one. Let me look at that one. You're beginning with, they're asking you to begin with this when the sentence was originally this. The cricket match ended abruptly when many of the spectators stormed the field. You're told to begin the sentence now with many of the spectators stormed. When you finish with that, you're gonna either continue with one of these words here and end with a piece of the original, or do a piece of the original and then end with a phrase at the bottom of the options here. So let's go with this one. Many of the spectators stormed the field, so the cricket match ended abruptly. So we're basically moving this part to now come at the start here, put in a word, and then end with this part. Let me go at it again. We are shifting the construction. We are putting this here to now start the sentence. So we're basically shifting this to the front here and then bring this to the back here. To do that, we have to put in a word from one of these options here. Is that a bit clearer to the persons who don't understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I see one of my students on the Zoom class. Miss James, why are you on the YouTube class and not in here? Come on, you have the link. I want to see you in the class here. Please come. Jelizi, whatever your pronunciation is, please come to the class rather than being on YouTube. Good. Yeah, so that's clear now. Moving on. Somebody else read question 13. Anybody? Okay, anybody read it then. Jamal, you want to read for us?
Yes, sir.
Please don't do the British accent.
She found even after she had made several attempts to regulate the sprinkler that the water was still reaching the furniture on the veranda. Begin the sentence with, "It is impossible for."
It is impossible. How do you continue there? So she found even after she had made several attempts to regulate the sprinkler that the water was still reaching the furniture on the veranda. So you're telling to begin with, it is impossible for. It is impossible for what? Zanelli?
Sir wanted to not reach the veranda. I don't know how to put them better words.
Okay. So which one of these options would continue to best fit the ending part?
Sir, see, since it's impossible for water to not reach the veranda, since she found that this the regulator couldn't be fixed.
Okay, fair enough. That's the answer. Anybody else wants to attempt at reading that sentence? Miss James, what's the matter with you? Why are you on YouTube and not here?
So I didn't know that I was able to get into the class. I just thought it was people who registered for English aid that could have joined.
Nonsense. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Nonsense. Yes, anybody else want to attempt this one? So the answer there would be C. Who else is with me here? Let me see. Who I'm going to pick up? Ashanti, good night. You want to attempt this one? No, I'm not hearing from Ashanti. Evans, how are your exams? How is Saints treating you?
Not bad, sir.
All right. You want to attempt this one here for me? Salim?
Which one, sir? Oh, 14?
13. The
Okay, just now.
restructuring of it. It blur? No, man, it didn't blur. All right, moving on. 14. It's going to be all right, Mom assured me. Begin the sentence with Mom assured me that it was going to be all right.
Yes, sir, B.
Good. Mom
Yes, sir,
assured
B.
me that it was going to be all right. So the answer there is B. Question 15. Salim, guide us with this one.
These students are hardworking as well as respectful. Begins
Okay.
as well as respectful.
Those students? Which students?
These students.
Business class or science class?
Any student in your class.
Okay. What? Kobe Bowen? Bright boy? Good?
Okay. Okay. Not only are these students hardworking, but they are also respectful.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with.
I agree too, sir. I also agree with him.
Not only are these students hardworking, but they are also respectful. That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
Nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Once you start something with not only, you must include but also. So the only one there that completes that rule in English is the one with the but also. Once you start with not only, but also must be there. Are you there with me? I can hear the crickets, so I guess you don't understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
You can see a sentence that says something like this. Not only are red women bad for your health, rather than they are frauds. And you can underline this, and red women would be B. So A would be there, B would be there, and C would be there. And there's no error as D. What would your answer be here? It will be C. You understand why?
C, sir.
Yes, I just said that. It's going to be C because rather than should have been but also. Not only are red women bad for your health, but also they are frauds. Somebody's asking what is wrong with he? A red woman hurt me once.
Perfect.
That's what's wrong with me.
Sir, was she wrong though?
Boy. There are 800 people watching on YouTube from all across the Caribbean. I can't tell you what I would normally tell you now. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Good. You're quiet. You don't want to get a job. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's read the first one there. Who's going to read that one for me?
I'll do it, sir. Mary, will you please fill up the buckets before the water supply is cut off?
What is wrong here? Which of those is wrong?
Sir, full up.
Full up, right. It should be
Yes,
fill
sir,
up.
full up.
Full is an adjective, right? Fill is the verb. So it should be fill up. Will you please fill up? And not full up. Full up is the adjective. Good. 1.1, 13.1K. Wow. Thank you, Jody. Jody, email me. I'll send you the link to this class. I want you in this class.
Sir, you're about to touch 1,000 likes.
Wow. Nice time. Thanks.
Money?
I'm not getting paid for this live, by the way. Julie prefers to lie in bed, not wanting to go to school, nor does any work. What is the error there, Salim?
C, it should be do.
Do. Excellent. Somebody there with me?
Yep.
Yeah. He shared sweets among you and me.
C, sir.
C,
B,
sir.
sir.
C.
B, sir. It's B.
Okay, calm your titties. Relax. Tafari, why
It's
is
B,
the
sir.
answer
It's
B?
B. B is it, sir? It's supposed to be
Sir,
between.
repeat, sir. Repeat.
Why
I
is
said
the
B,
answer
sir, because I think among it's supposed to be like more than two. Like, you know.
Very good.
Nice.
And what it should be?
Between, sir.
Between, sir. Between.
Very good. So that should be between. You use the word among when you're talking about more than three. So between is two, right? So what do you say? Between you and me. Once you use an adjective, once you use a preposition here, this has to be an objective form of pronoun. And me is the objective form of the pronoun. So nothing is wrong with C. C is actually correct. Between should have been there instead of the word among. Am I clear?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Yeah, seeing Jody. All right, good. Read the next one.
Peter have dengue and feels weak, so he is unable to participate in the inter-school games.
A, sir,
sir. A.
Somebody explain to me why the answer is A.
So because Peter is single, sir.
So?
It's supposed to end with S. So it's supposed to be has.
Right. So the singular subject should require a singular verb. If Peter is singular, the verb has to also be singular. Very good. Peter has influenza. Very good. Moving on.
Too much students entered the competition. Only one of them was good enough to reach the quarterfinals. Sir, A, sir.
Why?
Sir, because much is like is uncountable, sir, I guess.
Uh-huh. I want to use what you should use there instead.
Many.
Too many.
Good. Many, you use many in front of a noun that can be counted. For example, students, many students. You use the word much in front of a word that cannot be counted. For example, much love is expected in the air. I have much gratitude for all these free Facebook, for these free YouTube lives. Much gratitude. We can't count the gratitude, huh? Good. Or if you want to say, this man has much good looks. Or you say many good looks, which one?
None.
None. Okay. Good. Any questions on anyone we have talked about here?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I heard like when you use perfume or water or sand or something, it's uncountable.
Right. So to be singular.
Right.
So to be singular. So you would use much in that case, right? So much perfume, much water, much rain is expected today. You can't count these things. So you can't say many waters or many rain is expected. That would be incorrect. Am I making sense, Ms. Perez? Are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
When you get your grade 1 tomorrow, you'll be the youngest person I've taught English to. So make sure you get that grade 1, right? Right, Perez? No pressure. Good. Moving on. If any of your parents want me to teach them English, please let them email me at this email. The oldest person I taught English to last year was a 46-year-old woman from Linden, and she got a grade 1. So if any of you here, you want your mothers to understand the mechanisms of writing, please let them email me. Good. Just throwing all that out there. Let's move on. What are we doing here? We're looking at the word that best completes these sentences. They're all new sentences. Let's go. Somebody take the first one.
There are many who will try to something your efforts because of their jealousy.
That's a true statement. True statement. Many of them will try to thwart. What does thwart mean?
Obstruct.
Prevent. Bad mind. Good morning. Good. Next.
Most parents do not something indisciplined from their children. A, tolerate.
Somebody say help your Buxton people. Wow.
Yes, sir. I'm from Buxton, so.
My father's from Buxton too, but okay.
West Side run things.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
You know you.
Oh, it's personal. Most parents do not something in discipline. What do they not do? Supervise or frown on? The answer is D, right?
No, sir.
Is it?
No, sir. English.
Yes, sir.
Tolerant.
Somebody named Desperate there saying you want to join.
Why they want to join the links? They're seeing the same thing on YouTube. Listen, guys, calm down. If you get rid of those 17 dislikes, I'm going to post the Zoom link in this chat. So go ahead and get rid of them. Moving on. The clerk was granted a promotion because she was what?
Clerk, not clerk.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Says the guy with a terrible accent.
Says clock, my dear.
Wow.
No,
Yes.
that's what to speak of.
Big man, chef, they're gonna be a Jamaican. Yeah. So industrious, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The debate on the best way to enter the free trade agreement had not yet been resolved,
Approve.
accepted, approved, discovered. What do you think?
Approve.
Approve, sir.
Approved.
Would it be resolved?
All right.
Oh, the results. Wait.
Why not accept it?
You-
So I think it's resolved. The result. Because the debate. Yeah.
So the debate on
It's
the man made a good petition there. The debate on, can you guys stop? Oh, jeez, what's wrong with this? What did I do? What did I do? Yeah. The debate on the best way to enter the free trade agreement had not yet been what? Approved is your best answer.
Yes, sir. Because an agreement could only disapprove and approve.
Wow. Wow.
Nice, nice.
This was subject.
Nice.
You can only agree and you can only accept. Okay. Approve and disapprove. Okay, fair enough. I'm guided. Do you know Miss Banton? Who's Miss Banton? No, sorry.
Are the people trying to have a conversation with you?
Let's focus, guys. Miss Success. Grade 6 writing next month.
Master, you bongo
Dude.
Oh, shit. Oh, boy. What did I do? The lawyer gave his client, go on. Somebody read that one for me.
The lawyer gave his client something about taxes.
CXE made a mess of this. This question should have been a better question. This question, they should have said something like, they should have put in the word advice, CE, and the word advice, SE. The answer is A. Which one is advice? Which one should be used? Of course, it's CE because it's mentioned there. But CE is the noun, while SE is the verb. CE is the noun, and SE is the verb. Right? So if the man is giving them some good something, it must be good thing. That thing would be what? CE.
advice.
Good. Advice. Good. And let's move on now. Be the light. Zanelli, read this for us, please.
I think the horses must be laughing, kicking up their heels and chaffing, watching from their green abode the things that drove them off the road, whinnying in soft derision at breakdown, blowout, and collision, neighing as they roam the prize, motorist obituaries. Read the etaphs on Monday of drivers various on Sunday. Beep the horn and hold the klaxon for Hebrew, Latin, and Anglo-Saxon. Howling klaxon, beeping horn. The funeral dirge on Monday morn. Usher out the unlucky drivers without convincing the survivors. Here's a curve and here's a truck. Take a chance and trust to luck. The next one's practically standing still.
Pay attention to this poem because this was a very nice poem, and it might be a similar poem that comes in the exam, and you might see an elephant there staring at your face. So pay attention. I will donate $100 US. Wow.
Sir, accept the person right away. Accept, sir.
So I think the horses would be laughing. Why would the horses be laughing? Let's pay attention. The horses would be laughing, kicking up their heels and chaffing. Bad man, good morning. Watching from their greener road, the things that drove them off the road. Why are they laughing? Why are the horses laughing? Talk to me.
Was.
Sure, because it was ironic that they got driven off the road by the people who got into accident and died.
Good. So the horses are laughing because they're making fun of the things that drove them off the road. The things that drove them off the road were these vehicles. So this vehicle coming here now, they're laughing at them. These are the things that drove them off the road, and now it's causing death. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's look at our question now. Question 1. Somebody read that for us.
Why does the poet feel the horses are laughing? Line 1. A. He hears them laughing. B. The prairie in all.
You and your brother are too close. You're all too close.
C. They are treated well by their owners. D. They were replaced with something which causes harm.
Why are they laughing? Good question. Talk to me.
D, sir.
D is correct. The students of the Zoom are grateful. Okay, not so sure about that. D, correct. 27, the things refer to what?
Vehicles.
Vehicles. Which of the following words suggest the driver's destiny? Look at this. The driver's destiny. Here's a curve. Here's a truck. Take a chance and trust the luck. The next one's practically standing still. What are they talking about? They're talking about how an accident might be caused. So you're watching this curve, a turn, and you're saying to yourself, you know what? I can make that turn. And then you pass the vehicle there, or you pass that speeding car. You think that another one is on the other side, and it's saying what? That one is practically standing still. So you think that the thing is moving, but it's not moving. And it's stationary, and you collided with it. You're dead. So you're trusting to luck. So you think you can make it, but you really didn't. Which one of these is showing the writer, the speaker's destiny? As if the driver's destiny. What is the outcome, in other words?
The funeral.
The funeral. But they don't have funeral here. So what are we going to choose here? Boy.
Oh.
Obituaries. Yes, that would be like the gravestone. Good. And 29?
According to the poet, what day seems to be most prone to fatalities?
Look at it. So it says, read epitaphs on Mondays of drivers, various, and Sundays. So if we're reading the epitaph is like the newspaper with the names of the persons who have died. So the epitaph is like that gravestone. So you're reading it on Monday. So the event must have happened on Sunday. So what is the answer there? Sunday, right? The person on YouTube, just focus on getting these answers. So it comes in the exam, you're able to do well. Stop asking about the Zoom link and the Zoom link. Good. Go on.
What is the poet's tone in line 17?
The tone. How is the writer sounding?
Sarcastic.
Persuasive, indifferent, enthusiastic. Yeah, the best one is sarcastic. The poet is recommending the drivers drive how? Slowly, quickly, carefully, recklessly.
Carefully.
Yeah, common sense, carefully. What is the poet referring to in lines 9 to 10? Let's go back to that. And don't be shy. Go back and check your thing, right? Read epitaphs on Monday of drivers, various, and Sunday. What is it?
Death.
Yes,
Death
death announcement. The announcement of the death. So when it's published in the newspaper. Good?
Which of the following mean Which of the following means nearly the same as the title of the poem? B. That light. A. Drive faster. B. Hit the light. C. A flashing traffic light. D. Use corporal punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the light.
Third thing is A.
Sir A.
A, sir. A.
Very good. A. Good. Let's take a stretch. We're halfway. Let's take a stretch. We can wrap up in half an hour. Let's take a stretch. Get something to drink. Wet your lips. When you guys are in, please turn your volumes, turn your microphones off. Turn your microphones off. Good. Let's read. Don't take it to heart, Shark. Who's going?
Don't take it to heart, Shark. Life's got plenty lessons to teach you yet, partner. This bush does reduce you to an animal, and then you got to fight your way back to prove you are a man. You better get moving, and don't let sundown catch you before you reach Nameless River. I left half of my supplies with Polash and tonic, poured boiling water into the barrel of my rifle, tested the action of the bolt, and set out. I knew Bula and Tonic were watching me, but I didn't look back. I walked quickly, feeling my prospecting knife slapping against my thigh. The forest darkened, and my footsteps sounded loud under the tall trees. I wasn't afraid of animals or snakes, and for the first time, I felt concerned that I would overtake my uncle and Santos. The only fear I knew was for the thing I was about to do with no witness but God and forest trees. But this fear was remote as I swung downhill. The sense of being alone filled me with a particular gladness. I looked up at the sun and quickened my pace. I saw a nameless river from a hilltop. The molasses black stream flowed by 100 yards away. For a long time I stood still, watching every movement below and scanning the far bank of the river. I descended stealthily until I came to a morat tree, which leaned over the river. I hid my balata pouch between the roots and crouched down to wait.
Good, thank you. The expression the bush does reduce you to an animal implies that shark would. Somebody read the options there for me.
Eat like an animal, walk on all fours like an animal, be forced to adopt the instincts of an animal, hunt for prey like an animal for survival.
What's the best one there?
I say D.
I said
D.
D, sir.
Yeah,
D,
D.
sir.
Oh,
D.
D as in dog.
hunt for prey like an animal for
Should I see?
survival. No, not D.
See?
C is correct. The instinct to force to adopt the instincts of an animal. That's your answer.
Okay.
So yes, survival. The word survival seems nice, but only thing that seems nice there is the word survival, nothing else. So the answer there is forced to adopt the instinct of an animal. That's your answer. Everybody there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
35.
The advice given to the shark in the first sentence was meant to warn him that
Read the options. Go on.
he should not be in the bush after the dark. He could he could miss seeing the river in the dark. He should be careful about dangerous animals in the bush. There were things that he did not yet. Sorry, can't the last part. He did
Things
not.
he did not yet know about life. So let's go back to the first sentence. Don't take it to heart, shark. Life's got plenty of lessons to teach you, partner. This bush does reduce you to an animal, and then you got to fight your way back to prove you're a man. That sounds like life. What's
D.
your answer there?
D as in dog.
D as in dog. There were things he did not know about life. Yes, that's the best one there. D as in dog, correct. Next, 36.
The forest darkened, like 67, suggests that the A, sun had set by this time. B, trees leaned over the river. C, sun made trees create shadows. D, trees were blocking out the sunlight.
Another D.
D, sir.
Good.
Sir, tonight your email is gonna crash.
I swear by I don't know what there's a mistake. I normally give the other email. There's a mistake. Adriel Austin, I saw you in the bus bar a couple nights ago. Good night.
So you're exposing people, bro.
What's wrong with you?
Hope you're well. Hope you're ready for this grade
Very-
one tomorrow.
Of course.
Right,
Even if
right.
your mother could hear you, nothing.
Good. Molasses black. If something is saying it's molasses black, what does that tell you about the thing? The color, the way it flows.
Color.
Thickness.
I like
Color of
thickness
the
too.
water.
I like thickness too.
Can you go back to the line?
Wow.
Yeah,
Color of the
no,
water.
I didn't mean it like that. Line
Sir,
12.
molasses could even be smell.
Thank you. True, true. So it says line 12. The molasses black stream flowed by 100 yards away. Flowed by 100 yards away. What do you say?
Color.
The color of the water.
Come on, man. The molasses black stream flowed by 100 yards away.
Sir, Gabi color of the water.
Gotta be the color of the water. They put it, that part there, flowed by is your distractor, the distraction. You might think it's thickness, but it's really the color, right?
There are 100 people in here now.
I gave the link, and so far they behaving themselves. Last year was a whole confusion. I had to mute them now. Yes, let's go. Miss Williams,
Based on the extract,
read.
The conclusion we may draw about
Mhm.
shark scanning the far bank. Line 13 is that he was glimpsing the bank, examining carefully, peering through the bushes, looking at the trees nearby.
What do you think?
B. B.
B, sir.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes, correct. So just like you're going through these answers here now, the same thing I want you to do tomorrow. Take your time. Take your time. You're not rushing. Good. 39.
The phrase is scanning the far bank. Line 13. Descended stealthily. Line 13. Aid my platter pouch.
Balata pouch.
Platter pouch.
Stealthily. Mm-hmm.
Crouch down. Line 15. Show that the shark is looking
Shark.
for
That's the name of the person. Shark was doing what? What was he doing? He was looking for a friend, right? The answer is A there, right?
No, sir.
He was
Somebody said,
looking for.
Somebody said,
I say C.
Expecting an attack from animals, expecting
C.
I would
someone
say
who was not
C.
a friend, searching for a place to camp. That's stupid.
C for me.
The best
C for
answer
me
there
as
is
well.
C. Good. Next. 40.
Based on the extract, the only feeling shark did not experience was fear, aloneness, anticipation, satisfaction. I would say C.
I say
You can't say C. You can't tell me
D as
C
in
after
dog.
you just read the line there.
Did not.
Expecting someone. What was that? Anticipation. You
D.
see? Yes, that be D.
D.
Satisfaction. He's yet to receive that satisfaction. All right?
Okay.
Good. Are you there with me?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good. Let's wrap this up now. Industrialization. Who's going to read for me? Zanelli, you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Please read.
Industrialization has created a new set of intangible threats to health. They have presented themselves in socially accepted forms: the socially acquired glamour of cigarette smoking, the pleasures of alcohol, and the sprucious release gained through drugs have resulted in many cases of heart disease, cancer, and debility. Since many developing countries are succumbing to the same habits and dependence, they may lay themselves open to the same diseases. One can work by one One can work by one rough rule of thumb, says Dr. H. Hans Luca, chief statistician of WHO's Global Epidemiological Surveillance and Health Situation Assessment. Once a country achieves a life expectancy at birth of 60 years, cancer rapidly moves up in the ranking of health problems and causes of death. We now need to work hard and determinedly to implement decisions on lifestyle change. These will depend on two aspects: the personal choices made and the choices that are only possible if national policies and health strategies break new ground. Nothing illustrates these aspects more succinctly than smoking. About a quarter of all cigarette smokers are killed before their time by tobacco. Most would have lived on for another 5 to 30 years, the average being an extra 10 to 15 years, if they stopped smoking before they develop cancer or heart or lung disease. They could have averted the risk of dying from tobacco. Government policies can strengthen individual choice and prevent the growth of smoking. Restriction on advertising and promoting cigarettes will reduce incentives too. Please go down. All right. Incentives to smoke. Rising the cost of cigarettes lowers consumption. Health education should promote a way of life free of smoking. This is particularly necessary in developing countries, where there is generally minimum control on the promotion and sale of cigarettes. Developing countries can ill afford the enormous burden of tobacco-related illness and health resources, which are already overstretched. Governments may be collecting taxes and buying jobs in the growing of tobacco and the manufacture of cigarettes, but this is the cost of expensive long-term medical care and inhuman suffering and premature death. Some causes of ill health can be removed by political action and financial investment, but some, brought about by the way people live, can be removed by people deciding to change their way of living.
Good. Questions now? Let's go. 4-1. Somebody guide us with that. Hello? All these people that fight have to come in the Zoom class. Nobody's reading.
According to paragraph 1, lines 1 to 4, deaths from heart disease, cancer, and debility are on the increase because of A. The dangers posed by modern living, B. Growing substance abuse in today's society, C. Traditional lifestyles in developing countries, D. Longer life expectancy in recent years.
What do you think? Let's go back, and that's what you do in the exam. 1 to 4. Want to read that paragraph quickly for us? Industrialization.
Industrialization has created a new set of intangible threats to health. They have presented themselves in socially accepted forms: the socially acquired glamour of cigarette smoking, the pleasures of alcohol, and the spurious release gained through drugs have resulted in many cases of heart disease, cancer, and debility.
So what is basically causing these things? Lifestyle choices, right? You see that?
Yes, sir.
What's your answer here? Read back the question, somebody. According to paragraph 1.
According to paragraph 1, lines 1 to 4, deaths from heart disease, cancer, and debility are on the increase of the dangers posed by modern living, growing substance abuse in today's society, traditional lifestyles in developing countries, longer life expectancy, in recent years.
So it will be C or it will be B or C. Somebody said A?
B.
Let's go back to look at it again. Alcohol, cigarettes. Good. Substance abuse. Right. I like C though, but the word traditional there is gonna throw it off. It's more like lifestyle choices rather than traditional lifestyle choices. So B would be your answer there. Next.
The words succumbing and dependency, line 5 and 6, imply that the habits of cigarette smoking and alcohol and drug use inhibit development. B are created by users. C give rise to a state of numbness, and D have an overpowering effect on people.
So your
D,
answer is A,
different
right?
dog.
D.
D for dog.
Inhibit or overpowering effect?
Overpowering.
Overpowering. Next, 43.
The writer feels that deaths from cigarette smoking can best be minimized if A, countries initiate health programs, B, government institute new policies, C, individuals simplify their lifestyle in the area of health, D, individuals make more personal choices about health programs.
What do you think?
C, sir.
Okay, we gotta keep this going, right? Roblox is down for 8 years old, bro. What are you talking
C or D? I think about C.
8 years old.
Someone else to read for us. Read that sentence again. Read the question again.
The writer feels that death from cigarette smoking can best be minimized if
Countries initiate health programs, government institute new policies, individuals simplify their lifestyle in the area of health, individuals make more personal choices. What did it allude to? And show me your evidence. Hello?
Yes, sir.
You're answering the question there and you're giving me your evidence from that. So they're asking you, the writer feels that deaths from cigarette smoking can be best minimized by what? So look at this here and tell me what your answer is and tell me your reason. Quote the line, let me see.
It's like line 19, the government
19.
policy.
So it's saying government policies can strengthen individual choice and prevent the growth of smoking habits. So it's really the government policies and not the individual's choice, right? So let's go back. So what was your answer B?
B.
B, right? So they have C there, and that will basically, or they have D there, and that can force you to choose that, but it's really the government policy and then the choices afterwards. Yeah. Salim, you're still with me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, read the next one.
From paragraphs 1 and 2, lines 1 through 10, we may deduce that cancer is on the increase in developing countries caused by excessive alcohol, drug, and cigarette use, more likely to cause the death of people under 60 years of age, or one major drawback to health programs in developing countries.
I can't remember it, so I have to go back. Read the second paragraph.
Since many developing countries are succumbing to the same habits and dependence, they lay themselves open to the same diseases. One can work by one rough rule of thumb, says Dr. H. And
Just go to once a country.
Once a country achieves a life expectancy expectancy at birth of 60 years, cancer rapidly moves up in the ranking of health problems and causes of death.
Good. So it's saying as you get older, your chance of getting cancer increases.
So that
Which
means,
one is that?
That means it can't be C. More likely to cause the death of people.
Under.
So C is not the answer. B cannot be the answer either.
D. Sir, but is that from paragraph 1 to 2?
Yeah, fair enough. But we read paragraph 1 already. That's why I didn't read it back.
Well, wait. Alcohol to a
Sir, but
cigarette
in paragraph 1, it's made the glamour of cigarette smoking, the pleasure of alcohol, which is also an option in the answer there.
But read a bit. Read from they are presented themselves. They have presented themselves. Read from there.
They have presented themselves in socially accepted forms. The socially acquired glamour of cigarette smoking, the pleasures of alcohol, and the
spurious
release gained through drugs have results in many cases of heart disease, cancer, and debility.
Good. Look at your options. We can deduce that cancer is on, you will never find an answer that will repeat a line and that will be the answer here. They're asking you to deduce, so you have to do some kind of thinking and conclusion, right? You can't just choose a line because that was mentioned. No, you'll get it wrong if you do that.
Would it be B?
On the increase in developing countries, A seems okay, caused by excessive alcohol and drug and cigarette use. And D, one major drawback to health programs in developing countries. Why? Why D?
Because I talked about once the people hit 60, they're just like dying from cancer. So I'm like, maybe that's a drawback in the health programs.
No, that wouldn't be a drawback. What's a drawback?
It's already life expectancy.
I'm not asking for the drawback in this case, but it's like, no, that it's difficult for me to explain it, but it's not that. The answer would be A. That's the best one. On the increase in developing countries. So the cancer is increasing, and it's increasing because more people are touching to that 60 years. That's the best one. Nothing else there comes close. 45.
In the extract, it is suggested that one reason people smoke is because cigarette smoking, A, is fashionable in modern society, B, provides governments with needed revenue, C, provides release and relaxation for individuals, D, is promoted by numerous advertisements.
What do you think?
C.
C, sir.
Good. 46.
In the last paragraph, lines 29 to 31, which of the following is not suggested as a way in which dangers to health can be reduced? A, individuals altering patterns of living. B, allocating funds adequately to policies. C, governments implementing new policies. D, politicians becoming more responsible.
Did they talk about politicians? They spoke about governments and they spoke about allocating funds. They spoke about allocating funds? Let's go back. So they have governments. Did they talk about funds? Yeah, indirectly with the taxes and all there. Did they talk with politicians? Anybody side with politicians? No, I didn't see politicians either. So that won't be your answer there. Politicians become more responsible. Good. We're almost to the end. He's the man. Let's read this ad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the candidate for Dimsville. He is the man who will make all your dreams come true. He is the man who will fulfill all your wishes. He is the man who will stand by you through thick and thin. Our opponents say that he comes from a foreign country and he is not one of you. I must thank them for their kind comments because that is just what you need. His exposure to a developed world. He is equipped with the best ideas that will create opportunities for you. Don't you need steady jobs? And how about a school like that which the other areas have? Yes, my friends, you need to live like valued citizens, not like oppressed slaves in endless destitution. Your lives are not a journey into the promised land. You wander in a vast wilderness where hostile forces of humanity hound you with relentless cruelty. Your daily bread is sickness and worry, hunger and disease. Your hovels are dens of misery filled with empty hopes and despair. Have you considered the future of the children? Look at this man, the man who will make your dreams come true, the man who will give you your wishes, the man who cares enough to come to your village.
Good, thank you. Questions? What's the purpose of the speech? Introduce a new product, find out what the audience needs,
CRD.
condemn the efforts of the opponents, condemn the efforts of, they have repeated that option?
Yes, CND. It's repeated.
I have never seen that before on a CXC paper. Wow. So it's if you're gonna say C, you gotta tell me D too. Huh? It's new product, right? It's a new product. It's a weird question because it's not actually a product, it's a person.
Right.
So, but it's still an option they're giving you. So yes, they spoke about the opponents being talked about just for a bit. They spoke about the opponents for a little bit. But not because they spoke about the opponent mean the entire thing is about the opponent. You there with me?
Question, sir.
Give me a minute, please. My mother's calling. I have to answer this. Give me a minute.
His mother's calling at this over the night.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so new product, right? So it's A.
Question, sir.
Yeah.
But the product makes it seem like it's not a human being and they're talking about a person.
Right. I would agree with you there. That's it's a weird option, but it's the best one. The entire piece is not condemning the opponent. So you can't choose the option C. The entire thing is introducing this new candidate. This question came before, right? And they had that same thing I just told you, introducing a new candidate or introducing a candidate. They have changed it up to say it as a product. It's a person they're introducing, but the thing there is not talking about the entire thing condemning a person. It's a little piece that is condemning the person. The best option is A, introduce. It just makes him as though it's an inanimate object, but the best answer is A.
Okay, sir.
Any other contributions or additions to that?
I was wondering if it's a type error.
Could be a typo too, because they just did a typo at the bottom there. They probably want to say people, new person or candidate. Good. 48.
The
The
speech
speech
was
was
most
most
likely
likely given at A. Board meeting, B. Business meeting, C. Political meeting, D. Church meeting.
C.
The speaker addressed the audience as he would word it to.
Political,
C.
right?
Yes, sir.
Speaker suggests that
49.
candidate comes from a foreign country. Line 3, he will not approve him, leave him at any time, be an advantage to them, not respond, not represent them anytime.
Why is the person saying you?
Really kind and slowly I'm
if
getting
the audience really cares about them.
maybe one day I'll be able to tell the truth at school, but not yet. Thanks
D,
for listening.
D, correct.
Yeah.
Good. That's what politicians do, eh? Make the writer feel, make the person seem important. And then they dumb them when they collect the taxes.
Not a thing.
When I'm a politician, I wouldn't do all that though. You always vote for me, huh? Remember all these nice Facebook live I give you and so on, YouTube live when I'm running for office? Just vote for me. Good. I'm just
looking Jimena Hatton.
good. If you do that, the country will be great again. 50. What do you read 50?
The speaker suggests that because the candidate comes from a foreign region, line 3, he will A. not appreciate them, B. leave them at any time, C. be an advantage to them, or D. not represent them well.
See.
Be an advantage to them.
Be an advantage to them. Very good. Very good. I like you guys. You guys are witty. I like that. 51.
When the speaker says, you need to live like valued citizens, line 7, he attempts to A. change the villagers' way of life, B. make the villagers feel good about themselves, C. make the
It has
villagers
there.
feel
Oh, there and in space cells. Okay, good.
make the villagers feel they are treated well by their representatives, D. change the villagers' views on their lives so that they choose his candidate.
D.
Change the villagers' view of their lives.
Yes, sir.
They choose this candidate.
Good. Dimsdale is a suitable village. Who names the village Dimsdale? Why? Let's go.
D.
Somebody would have put electricity. It must be electricity. Some stupid things that people have put in exams, you know. Please don't be one of those.
Is it C?
D is the answer.
It is named after somebody. No.
I think D. The villagers feel hopeless.
Somebody said GPL in Guyana. That's very true. The villagers feel hopeless because they're lacking basic amenities. That's your answer. Guys, there are going to be some obvious answers standing out, staring at you in the eyes. Choose those obvious answers. Look at this one. It seems so sophisticated. The villagers are hopeless because they lack basic amenities. Come on. The answer is slapping you and say, hey, I'm the answer. Choose me. You can't see the man?
Choose overthink, sir.
Just overthink? Don't overthink. The basic remains basic. Choose them.
In paragraph 1, the speaker repeats the word. He is the man because he wants to represent the candidate. B. Emphasize the power the candidate possesses. C. Impress upon the audience that he is offering them the best person for the job. D. Inform the villagers that they need a man and not a woman to represent them. Success.
C.
So
The
I'll say
answer is
C.
C, sir.
Yeah, C.
Or C.
Yeah, I think C.
They need it's obviously they need a man to do the job, eh? Right? The answer is the one, right? Which one? C, right?
C, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Which is not used. Pun, metaphor, repetition, rhetorical question. Do we see pun?
No, sir. Yes.
No, sir.
Do
No,
play on
sir.
words? You not seeing pun?
Yes, I'm seeing a pun.
What's the pun?
Dimsville.
Exactly. Excellent. Dimsdale. It's a pun. They're playing on word. You just told me it meant what? It lacked basic amenities.
Yeah.
Hopeless. That's your pun. Are you seeing repetition?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rhetorical question is
Is
there?
this
Yes. Yes. B.
B. Metaphor. It's not one that you see often time because you can almost have metaphors all over, right? But that's the best one there. Good. Wrapping up now. You see this question here? It tricks a lot of people. So pay attention to it. So look at it. We're gonna answer the question we're gonna answer the question, then we're gonna look at the passage. According to the information provided, the main theme of the symposium is what? Go back here. The main theme. The main theme would come from your topic. All right? So what would we choose?
Adolescent health.
Adolescent. Let's go back. What's our theme here? Not youth. It's talking about youth, but it's
C.
What is there thing?
C, forgot.
Yes, sir.
Good. Next.
Which of the following groups is not a sponsor of the symposium?
Not a sponsor. I like this question. Simple and nice. Let's go back. Sponsors
Ministry
are
of
on the
Health.
left-hand side. Ministry of Youth, Education. We don't see health there. So the answer must be health. So your answer is what? B. Nice
B.
and easy. Good.
B.
57.
Which of the following words can best replace symposium in the advertisement?
Conference.
Conference. Very good.
B, sir.
58.
B.
All of the following groups are specifically invited to attend the symposium except
Let's
Parents
go
of
back
young
and check.
people.
Let's go back and check. So we see
C.
interested members, members of the youth group, healthcare professionals, science students, media personnel. All of those we see except parents, right? So your answer must be parents. Good. Next. How can those who want to join register? It's a trick question. Look
how
at it.
can those who want to participate register for events?
All right, thanks. Look at it. How to attend.
B, sir.
How to attend. Contact Yvonne Dalton at the Ministry of Youth. Contact Yvonne Dalton at the Ministry of Education. A is wrong.
It's B.
B, sir.
B.
You see how they trick you there? And
Yeah.
listen, this question is often switched. The options are often switched in the exam. So don't close your eye and choose A or B. It can actually be the opposite. So you still have to look at the options. You understand what I'm saying, guys?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
main address is to be delivered by a Buqua tutor.
Main address. What did they talk about that? Featured address, two-door. Featured address, conscious youth of the year, two-door. So the answer is two-door, A.
A.
Can you see that?
A.
Yes.
Good. So we have done for the night. What do you want to talk about now? I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking about anything you want to talk about.
Question
Suggestion?
24.
Question what?
24.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. 24? What?
Yeah, review question 24, please.
What you're thinking about? Approved, resolved, accepted, discovered. What are you thinking?
Resolved.
Why?
Because you could only resolve a debate. How do you approve of one? How do you approve of one side of a debate?
So why you're saying it's resolved? You
Because
haven't answered the question.
they decided upon. They decided upon one side.
So the debate on the best way to enter the free trade agreement had not yet been approved, resolved, accepted, discovered. So you thinking the answer is A?
Yeah.
Well, if you think the answer is A, tomorrow choose A as your answer.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments, clarifications?
Sir,
Thank you very much, sir.
I would like to
Very much, sir.
class, even though I made it late, but as a Guyanese and a Bostonian, I really appreciate it.
All right, Bostonian, big up
Sir,
yourself.
can you write paper 2 for me tomorrow, please? Guys, like
If I can write a paper too, I
Sorry,
heard
it's like a
somebody
little
say,
shaky, sir.
I heard somebody say, if Jesus don't write that paper, the paper will not write itself. Yeah, go down brave. Go down brave.
Sir, seriously, if God ain't write it, it's not gonna get done, sir.
All right. Good luck. Let me pray for you guys before you leave.
Yes, please do, because I'm kind of worried about the summary.
Don't be.
Sir,
Don't be.
I hope my grade
You need
twin
some
got
your
on the
alone,
train.
though.
Sorry, Timmy. I hope my twin got on the train, sir.
Hope you're two along the drain.
Yeah.
Well, your two can become a
I got
three.
grade one. Gotta
can
get
become
grade one this year.
It can be a 4 too.
Nice.
Oh, sorry, no.
So remain focused.
I'm merit list.
Or merit list, that's true. If any y'all on the merit list, y'all just big me up when y'all on the merit list at the top there, right? If anybody win the
Hopefully.
2000, if anybody
Yes.
win the 2000 US prize, just give me half of it for the best short story. Yep, half will be fine. Thanks.
Half of us, sir.
Yeah, I love your short story.
Thanks.
Yeah, sir. I love your shirt. So he with your character which died about when he says something
Oh,
about
by
his
the way,
sister. Grass in there.
don't write no story that say and they live happily ever after. Boring.
Yes, I was
Or
told.
it was all a dream.
Well, the dream thing does work nice sometimes if
All
you were good
depends
at
on
it.
how it was treated.
Sir,
No.
But don't start by saying once upon a time the boy liked the girl and then they live happily ever after.
People them are what Cinderella.
sir,
Uh-huh.
the one I wrote and show you last night about how my character was like in this time lapse, like he couldn't, everything was repeating, right? That could work, so.
Boy, I can't remember what I had for dinner a few minutes ago. You want me to remember what your story was last night?
Sir.
I'll play along. Yes, it was an excellent story, Jamal. You write that one tomorrow.
Sir, this is on YouTube. Sir, could you please tell Ryan to help me with English 8?
Ryan say, please help Dacia on the exam. Good. I'm praying for you guys now. Focus. All mics muted. Dear God, we come before your throne of mercy, your throne of grace this evening to thank you for what you have started. As we go to the exam tomorrow to complete the task we have started, we pray and give it into your hands. You said in your word, God, ask and it shall be given. Seek and we shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. You said in your word too that we shall be victors and not victims. We shall be above and not beneath. Tonight, Lord, we are coming to you with your words, and we know we are going to be victorious. You said in your word, seek and we shall find. Tonight we are seeking grade ones. We are knocking on the doors of grade ones. We are hoping that with that we have put in, you are able to multiply it and make us successful. At the end of this, oh God, the glory, the honor, and the praise belong to you and you alone. At this moment, we come against every spirit of doubt. We come against every feeling of frustration. We come against every plan of the devil. We come against the spirit of lateness. We come against the spirit of forgetfulness. It shall be drawn to naught tomorrow. We pray against every plan of the devil. It shall be uprooted in no other name but the name of Jesus. We pray against every feelings of inadequacies, Lord. As we go to these exams, we are going to manifest what we have been working on for the last few months or years. As we go to these exams, God, we have one thing and one thing only to prove, that we have learned and we have demonstrated the competence in English. As we go to these exams, God, we want to give you glory, the honor, and the praise, for you said in your word, it is done, and so shall it be. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
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 Amen to that.
Amen.
And if there's anybody who wants to add a Hindu version or a Muslim version to that, please, let's do that too, because we are inclusive Caribbean. Huh? Anybody wants to add any Hindu in the class? Any Muslim? Why are we always so shy? We have to embrace our diversity.
Because we black.
Oh God. It shall be done. Yeah. Good. So good luck, guys. Please, please listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. I hate when you've worked so hard, you're now restricted to getting a grade 2 or a grade 3 because you're late to an exam. Here I tell you, don't be late to an exam. Get up early. If you know you have to get to the exam for 9 o'clock, get there at 8. If you know the traffic would be difficult in the morning, get up earlier. Don't give me an excuse that you're late because of XYZ. I will not tolerate it at all. Get to the exam early, and I will be at the gate of Chase's Academic Foundation with a big long wood for anybody that comes late. Good.
1 minute even?
Even 1 minute. Get there early. So you get enough time to settle yourself and calm your nerves as you go to your exam. All right? I wish you all the best of luck. Go on and have fun. Have fun. It's an English exam.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Good luck, everyone.
Come on. Later, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, yeah.
Amen.
Bye. Good luck.
Bye.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, and same to you.
Yeah, baby, love you.
Same to you. Well, sir.
Sir, I need red on. Bye.
Careful, boys. Don't go with them ready, man. You get good, stay good. Red women are dangerous.
So how many dislikes now?
But let's go and see. But I'm frightened to check it out. 23, that's 23 red women. All right, good night, YouTube. Have a good one. Please get to the exam early. Make yourselves proud. You can't be speaking English for 20 plus years, well, 16 plus years, and you fail an English exam. Ludicrous. Go to the exam and have fun. Bye-bye. All the best.
Seriously, because may I speak English for 15 years, my might feel.
No, man, don't go with that. You have to go with a positive spirit. You know, let me tell you something. I tell my students all the time, fake it until you make it. Now, you might be ugly, but you gotta tell yourself, I am the most good-looking duckling around. And eventually you start feeling it, you know? I am gonna go and get that grade 1 tomorrow. Yes, I'm gonna get it. You eventually start feeling it, you know? So don't say you're gonna fail. You manifest that kind of energy. Huh? Excitement.
That wouldn't be like overconfidence, like you're too.
No, it's overconfident on the person who's looking on from the outside, Miss Buxton. But we don't care who's looking on. We're caring about us, you know? We got to exude that kind of vibrance, you know? We want to. Let me tell you something. When I was younger, like y'all, I used to have terrible self-esteem issues. And when I pass my mirror now, I have to stop and look in and say, damn, who's that chocolate? So don't worry. Same thing when you go to the exam. I am going to get that grade 1. I'm going to get this A. Speak it into existence. Huh? Cite me, Miss Blair.
Yes, sir.
That's it. That's the energy. Grade 1 energy tomorrow. Grade 1 energy.
Yes, we claim in the grade 1.
Hopefully. Claim in, not hopefully. Say it. Grade 1 energy. You can't go with any ounce of negativity. It clouds the entire judgment. Huh? Your face is already clouding the judgment with your ugliness, so you can't bring another variable into the equation. You got to set grade 1 energy. Huh? It's a new hashtag. Grade 1 energy. I love it. Bro, come on. This is with Trinidad. So they always some lame soca.
Sir, do you have any tips on how to make the story interesting?
Start with a flashback and end with some sort of surprise. Let us not know what you were, let's not expect your ending. That's all I'll tell you. Something that stands out, right?
I heard someone say before that it's best to make the story like all happen in the span of like a day or like 24 hours. Is that true? Like, can it?
No, that's trash. That's trash. But nothing in the story is going to really reflect time so much. You won't say today is another day, and then another day, and then another day. Right? So nothing really impacts time so much. But you can start by saying a description of the area or so on. But nothing necessarily means you have to talk about the time of a day or how many days have passed. So don't rely on that. That's nonsense.
This is a lame soca now, or
Yes, most of them is problems. Most of them.
And that is why Trinidad is not a real place.
Very true. Very true. So let's hear any other tips. I don't know, Jean, you asked me what you want me to hear, to tell you. I don't know what to say. I have spoken a lot tonight.
Sir, I heard that you should stay away from violence in your stories.
Violence. Listen, don't write everybody got massacred. 1 and 2 deaths is okay. Nothing is wrong with that. But you're not gonna write a whole page after page after page of somebody brutally killing anyone. That's gonna be too much, and we will flag that and get that child some sort of counseling or something. But you're not gonna lose marks for that. So don't say you will lose marks if you write too much violence. That's trash. Oh, and put a title for your story. Name your story. Leave a blank space at the start. Underline that blank space so you remember to put a title for your story.
Sir, what if I can't spell?
What if you can't spell? I'll see you next year.
Well, if you can't spell in an English exam,
honestly, I can't resit these exams. It's just no.
Man, you can't look so nice and can't spell. Nice girls gotta spell properly.
I mean, English is very difficult.
English can't be possibly difficult. You speak English all your life. You know any other language? What other language you know?
Yes, but there's like different ways
There's
to
a
spell.
difference
Like
between standard English and road English. So
That's a very good
sir, I
point.
speak patois all my life, sir.
Well,
Been
you can only
speaking
put
patois.
patois. You can only put patois in the conversation. You can't put dialect anywhere else. You can put your Creole in the conversation, in your story, nowhere else. So you keep your patois right there.
As say YouTube videos say, you can't be ugly and lazy. Choose one struggle.
And you done bar with one.
Yes, sir. Lazy this shit. Because sir, I'm these speeches based in CIC. So that's also the equation already, sir. So like
good. You guys want company, y'all didn't want to go sleep. Adriel, you're not at the park tonight.
No, we don't sleep over here.
Nah, man, you got to get some rest, you know.
sure, I have a question for letter of complaints in block form, sir. So for like I chose like I learned block form, right? So like you put your address, then date, then the person, so the name, position, company, and then skip a line and put their address, then a greeting, and then subject, and then start it. And you have to skip a line, right? So like
You do that if you're doing block format. Nothing is wrong with it, right?
oh,
But
okay.
I teach traditionally, right? So don't beat
Yes,
me
sir.
up for the old school.
No, sir. I was just asking. You know.
Mm. Anything else? Come on, get your sleep. You can't be dunce and tired tomorrow. You gotta pick one struggle.
Gotta do it with confidence.
Ah, that is it. I do this with confidence.
So we too anxious to sleep.
No, man, you gotta
Sir,
get some.
I went to bed at 5 a.m. the morning of the lit exam and I had the most energy. So I think I'm just gonna repeat that.
Ah, lit was good.
It was good. It was actually very good. I was very surprised with myself.
Well, you'll do the same thing tomorrow.
I don't know about that because I don't spelling and then the words they sound right but it's not right, and then they always have these big words like what's the synonym or what's the antonym and I don't know what the word means.
Guess. Close your eye and guess. Or ask yourself, WWJD, what would dark chocolate jamming do? And I would always choose C.
By the way, sir, what was that elephant poem? No.
The elephant was repeated. That was the previous year. We worked it in class with my
Was the
students.
elephant a man or?
It was two things. It was basically talking about how people treat different things that are, for one instance, it's where animals are badly treated. And in another instance where somebody is being judged. So it was how people treat people that are disadvantaged, let's say that. So we had two examples. We had one with the physical elephant and then one with the person who was being mistreated. But let's not talk about that. Don't stress yourself out tonight. All right, guys. Bye-bye. I have to go sleep now. I'll go. Bye-bye.